There's a small group of very wealthy people who should be afraid of this. I'll get to that in a sec, but first, a quiz question. It's related to sports. Answer this, please. What do Robert Morris, Miami of Ohio, UC Berkeley, UCI, and Kent State have in common? No, they were not a Final Four grouping. It's five of them anyway. They all have esports teams. They play in a league and they get spectators. Doesn't look like they get paying spectators yet, but it's probably coming. Esports, the competition among college kids at first and then just plain outsiders, online gamers, is pretty fierce. Fierce enough and cerebral enough to gain spectators. 1.1 million simultaneous is the record as of a 2018 broadcast. We also know that those who identify as online gamers, that means they go online for gaming once a week, at least, they actually watch others gaming more hours per week, about 3.2, than they watch professional sports on regular television. That spells not the death of televised sports, no. But it does spell, I think, something that the owners of major league franchises need to watch out for in their future contracts with TV networks. It's going to be a hard slog to get the same kind of revenue, to get long-term contracts where eyeballs, there's competition for every one of our eyeballs. And that means when this competes that strongly with other sports, buyer beware. Look, you don't want to know what explains the loss of fans at NFL games more than Colin Kaepernick's antics. It is that sitting down and watching one television screen doesn't entertain millennials as much as doing things or watching others do on 5 different screens, which many of them have the capability of doing. Faster, your choice, compared to a 3-hour slog at a regular football game. It makes attendance tough. It makes even television watching tough when the computer competes with you so dearly. The very good news is that esports open up opportunities for kids who have restricted themselves from the outdoor playing field. So nerds, and I use that term in a good way, nerdy kids now have a good competitive outlet, and they may get adulation from nerdy spectators or curious spectators. I don't think they will be the prom king and queen like the lead cheerleader and the quarterback of your traditional college team. But I do think they'll come to more respect and have nice outlets for competitive energy. Great. Expanding sports is wonderful. It's a competitive outlet that is wholesome when done well. It helps kids with socialization. It helps kids with recovering from mishap, recovering from loss, outdoor sports, recovering from injury. It helps with teamwork. It helps with discipline. It helps with bettering yourself. It is such a more wholesome alternative to a lack of sports where kids get into gangs or groups that take you nowhere, or even worse, on your own, and nobody else is tethered to you. At least online gaming, you got an identity. People see where you're at, what your scores are, what you're going to log in, or when you're going to log in next. It's a very wholesome league in my mind. It is a good development. The bad, really only bad for those few major league owners who I don't think can expect long-term increases in team value like they have had. NFL, it'll grow a few more years. I don't think more than 5, though. I think franchise values will peak within the next 5 years. Once Tom Brady probably will retire within 5 years. You never know. Philip Rivers, Drew Brees, iconic quarterbacks. I don't think others really hold a candle to them in terms of fan interest. Patrick Mahomes had a great season. I think he's more likely destined to fall to the ordinary, as in Dak Prescott. Um, Aaron Rodgers never has really lit it up fan-wise outside of the upper Midwest. Green Bay is where he plays. NFL, I think, limited life of increases. Baseball can't possibly go up significantly more. I give it a 5% maximum in terms of average team values, and it's going to be downhill from there. It is too slow of a sport. The traditionalists, who are still fervent, lose interest when rules changes, which are made to speed up the sport and made to make things more fair, less fair. Traditionalists are still there because of tradition, and the more the MLB tweaks with it, the more they lose those over 60 still fans. The under 30s, it's a really tough sell in MLB. My most hoped for and my expectation of rising team values, it's NHL hockey, because the concentration in one rink of international players like only the NHL has in a fast-paced game that doesn't last over 3 hours is good, and I think it will tend to attract more people physically to spectating and online and television. Use the online device as well. Get those streaming places in new markets, and NHL revenues and NHL franchise values, I think, will expand for a long, long time. All right, those are my predictions. Mark my words. I'm Mark Greenstein.